The wind howled through the shattered peaks of Mount Kerith, dragging with it the bitter scent of blood, ash, and ancient fire. Nestled in the shadow of a rock slide, a creature older than the mountain itself lay dying. An albino dragon, once majestic, once feared, now a mangled heap of white scales cracked with crimson. His wings, once as vast as clouds, were torn and pinned beneath boulders. His breaths came slow and shallow, plumes of steam curling from his nostrils as if even his fire had turned cold. He welcomed death, until she came, not with a sword, not with fear or awe in her eyes, but with a medical satchel, cracked boots, and a furious determination he couldn't comprehend. Her name was Alira. She had been part of a field medic team dispatched after the northern skirmish between the Sky Legion and the Rogue Dragon clans. But when her squad's aerial transport was struck, Alira parachuted to safety and became stranded in the mountains. Following faint heat signatures and distant groans, she stumbled across the wounded beast. She should have turned away. Protocol demanded it. But when she saw the dragon, an enormous albino with gashes deeper than her forearm, ribs cracked and scales charred, something in her chest clenched, not in fear, in heartbreak. "You're still alive," she whispered, inching closer, hands raised. "Barely." The dragon's left eye opened, pale silver and dull. It focused on her with disinterest, as if she'd arrived too late for a meaningful goodbye. "You came to watch me die?" The voice echoed inside her head. Old, deep, weary, not spoken aloud. She blinked. "No, I came to save you." "Foolish. Humans run from my kind, even wounded." "Then let me be the first fool to run toward you." The dragon would have laughed if his lungs weren't half collapsed. Instead, he shut his eye and let the numbness reclaim him. But Alira didn't leave. For 3 days, she worked. She cut away dead tissue from the torn wing, cauterized wounds with a combination of alchemical gel and her portable flare torch. She climbed into Dragon's mouth, yes, to repair a shattered fang that was slicing his tongue. She brewed potions with herbs she found clinging to mountain cliffs, and even fed him small animals she cooked herself. He didn't speak again until day 5. "Why?" She glanced up from applying a bandage to his leg. "Why what? Why care for a dying relic? Your people want us extinct. I've seen death. I've stopped death. Sometimes it listens. Sometimes it doesn't. But I never walk away." A long pause. "You believe you can stop mine?" Alira met his gaze. "I'm going to try, even if it kills me." He said nothing, but his eyes stayed open this time. Each day he improved. Slightly, she learned to interpret the shifts in his tail, the rhythm of his breathing. She carved makeshift splints and cleared away rocks that crushed his wing. She massaged broken muscles with trembling hands, whispering lullabies from a childhood she'd almost forgotten. He told her his name was Kaviros, an ancient title meaning pale flame of the old sky. "I thought dragons were proud and mighty," she said once. "I was," he admitted, "before the last war, before I was betrayed." By his own kin, he explained. His albino hide, once a symbol of rare celestial lineage, had become a mark of weakness among younger, bloodthirsty dragons. He had been cast down during the insurrection, wings shredded, magic stolen, body broken. "I fell, not from the sky, but from purpose." She rested her hand on his warm, scaled neck. "Then let me give you one." Winter touched the mountain early that year. Snow fell in thick curtains, hiding predator and prey alike. Alira built a shelter against Kaviros' side, feeding off his radiant body heat. In exchange, she read them from her field journal. Stories, memories, even bad poetry from her youth. He listened. Sometimes he laughed. Sometimes he wept silently, his eye closed, tears freezing on scales that had forgotten kindness. On the 20th day, she returned from foraging, bloodied and limping. A cave bear had attacked. She escaped barely. Kaviros roared, not in pain but in wrath. His breath lit the ice in a shimmering arc of pale fire. The echo shattered snowbanks for miles. He tried to rise. Muscles quivered, tendons strained, bones cracked anew, but he rose. Alira staggered back, tears in her eyes. "You idiot," she whispered. "You're not supposed to move yet." "No one touches what is mine," he growled. Her cheeks flushed. "Yours." Kaviros looked down at her, at the small, defiant woman who had stitched his heart back together with every broken bone. "Yes, mine." Spring thawed the frost. Flowers peeked through the snow. And the albino dragon, reborn through pain, fire, and human compassion, took to the sky again. He soared above the peaks, the sun catching on his pearl-white wings, his cry no longer a song of death, but a hymn of life. And beside him, in a saddle she crafted from his old torn banners, rode Alira, the healer, the fool, the flame rekindler. They didn't return to the armies. They didn't return to kingdoms that judge by scales and skin. Instead, they made their own, high in the clouds, between heaven and forgotten places. They guarded those who had no voice. Dragon and human, fire and compassion. Two broken souls who chose not to die, but to rise, together,